Hello, sisters. So I was inspired to hop on. Well, actually, Archangel Michael told me to do this Facebook Live and do it now. So I'm listening. Um, and this inspiration originally stemmed from a post that one of my sisters and good friends recently shared in our group, Sisters of the Mermaid Moon, around anxiety. And I wanted to hop on here. So Sarah's here. Hi, love. I wanted to hop on here to share my practice of working with Archangel Michael every single day. This is something that I recently haven't been talking too much about, but in the coming months, you're going to hear more from me around angels. And we are going to do a deeper dive course around working with angels in your daily life because the angels asked me. So that is just going to need to happen. Amanda's here. Hello, love. So working with Archangel Michael as a daily practice might be something that would be really beneficial for you. Actually, I can honestly say that working with Archangel Michael every single day would be beneficial for everyone. And the reason why this was inspired around a discussion around anxiety is I connected with my sister's field, and I could tell and feel that there was a lot of energy in her field that did not belong to her. And a lot of us light workers are sponges. We're very open and we're very sensitive, as many of you know. And we move around, when we move around the world and when we connect with other people and a lot of energies, when we watch the news, when we connect with someone who's upset, when we're walking by a busy highway, I mean, so many, things, we do so many things. We're around so many different experiences. We end up soaking up these energies and they kind of stay present and floating in our fields because we haven't been taught about our energy. We haven't been taught about how to manage our energy. We haven't been taught how to be masters of our own energy. And this is something that we're all coming into and learning in this lifetime and remembering. So you can work with Archangel Michael every single day to clear your energy field of that which does not belong to you. And Sarah's saying, yes, he is such a beautiful being. He's amazing for cutting etheric cords. Absolutely. Maybe I'll mention a little bit about that in a second here for those of you who don't know. So you can really simply work with Archangel Michael. When I first started working with Archangel Michael, I was like, oh my God, I read about him in a book, and I was like, oh my God, he sounds like a really big deal. And I remember I was in my car outside of a bank when I was still in university, and for whatever reason, maybe I knew him in a past life with this pronunciation. I said, Michael, 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 and I invoked him for the first time, and ever since then, it's just been like a BFF party. Like literally, Archangel Michael's like my best friend. And you can really simply work with him by asking him right away. So we can say, Archangel Michael, thank you for coming. Thank you for being with me. We say him and we say he because Archangel Michael is associated with a masculine, more warrior type energy. But that's really does not actually indicate the truth at a deeper level. Archangel Michael and all of the angels they're not human. They don't necessarily have genders. They can be very fluid in their energy and offer whatever medicine is needed. And for years and years and years, a lot of people have connected with that very strong energy of Michael, which we associate archetypally often being aligned with masculine energy. So also when you're invoking Michael, it wouldn't be wrong to call Michael a she if that's what you wanted to do, or an it. Angels would take absolutely no offense to that. Angels are not necessarily little, humans with wings flying around, although it's perfectly fine to picture them like that. And they often do come as that in order to connect with symbology that we can understand and make sense to our conscious awareness. You can picture an angel as light, as we'll get into in a second. You can picture angels as animals, etc., etc. They take no offense to any of that. It is whatever works for you. Now I'm just called to getting to a discussion actually about angels for those of you who might be new to working with them. And some of you might be like, yeah, girl, I'm on the angel party, been on the angel party for years. Angels don't have egos. So an angel never, ever, ever judges you. Literally impossible for an angel to judge you or send you any sort of negative energy whatsoever. So you can invite angels into your lives at the shittiest moments, at the shittiest times, or when you just feel super wrapped up in shame or whatever is going on with you, and you can work with your angels knowing that they're going to be absolutely pure vessels of unconditional love that are going to guide you and work with you. And my life would not be what it is today without my connection and daily work with angels. So you can work with Archangel Michael simply by invoking him first. Archangel Michael, thank you for being with us now. Archangel Michael, thank you for coming to me now. Archangel Michael, thank you for helping me now. You need to understand that angels always honor the law of free will. So we live in a universe where there's a law of free will that not all beings honor. You can break it because it's your free will to break the law of free will. Right? There are consequences for that, and there will be, I don't know, retribution. I don't know if that's the right word. This seems kind of scary, but you know, for those who break the law of free will. But angels always honor the law of free will. So if you do not ask an angel for help, in most cases, an angel cannot give it to you. Okay. Unless there's rare cases where there's some sort of soul communication where the soul is asking for that support. Maybe they're not rare cases, but if the soul is asking for support, but the conscious mind is not, an angel can come through in some ways for sure. And so it's really important that we honor that, okay, so actually I need to ask. And honestly, in my experience, asking every day and asking often for help is very important and very powerful. And we'll talk a little bit more in a second here about specifically how we can ask, etc., etc. What you also need to understand about angels is are an aspect of ourselves. When we ask angels for help, we are not necessarily asking something outside of us to help us and rescue us. This is not in the victim-savior mentality, okay, which many people are operating under when they ask divine beings for support. Angels are aspects of our consciousness in spiritual truth. They are us in spiritual truth, albeit very developed, powerful, omnipotent aspects of ourselves. So when we're asking an angel for support, technically speaking, we're actually asking a very highly developed and unconditional loving aspect of our true powerful selves to help us. So also remember that, and that's going to help the energetics be in a sense where you're not giving your power away to something that's outside of you, that you're aware that you're simply working with very highly developed aspects of your being. So you can also, one of my favorite ways to work with Archangel Michael is to picture a very bright blue, electric blue, purple frequency, like bordering electric blue and purple, like that ultraviolet light that comes from certain kind of techie things, and seeing that all the way just kind of showering you in energy. And you can do that now, bathing your energy in this electric blue purple frequency. And just really breathing that in and asking Archangel Michael, thank you for purifying and clearing my energy field of anything that is not mine. Thank you for clearing my energy field of any and all fear now. And thank you for clearing all of my chakras of any and all fear now. Thank you for your support and your help. You're amazing. I love you. And breathing that in. So that's something that you can do daily, and that is something that I do usually daily. And this can work very well when we are in situations where we feel like we need some sort of energy clearing. But we don't have our Palo Santo or a sage. We don't have to rely on external tools in order to clear our energy and come into a more centered space. We can work with the energetics of the universe. And also keep in mind, when Archangel Michael is clearing your energy field, he is not pushing away or angry at the energy that he is clearing from you. He is simply returning it back to where its original source came from in most cases. So in some cases, he's returning that energy to the higher self of the person that it belongs to. And in some cases, he's returning it directly to source energy itself to be transmuted across all time, dimension, space, and reality. So it's not like in many cases, I've seen a very famous picture of Archangel Michael stomping on a demon, and essentially attacking him and trying to kill him. This is not the energetics and the perspective and the consciousness that angels work from. They do not work in separation, and they do not work in better than or worse than consciousness as we do. So it can also be helpful to remind ourselves of that, because if there's any times where we feel like we want to push something away and it's not okay, then that's going to cause a break in our psyche and our consciousness and actually invite more anxiety or feelings of discomfort into our lives. So Vita says, I never connected with angels before working with you. I have been astounded by how powerful and immediate the response has been when I have called on Archangel Michael. Tell the sisters about your meditation album. It was super helpful for me. Awesome. And Sarah says, yes, Beth, this is super important. So yeah, Vita, I do have a meditation album that is available that you can work with Archangel Michael in. It's called Daughters of the Earth. It's available on my website. You can go to mermaid-moon.com in order to access that and hover over the meditate link. And you can also access a free Archangel Michael meditation right on the website as well. mermaid-moon.com, hover over meditate, and you'll find an Archangel Michael meditation. There's a video, and you can also sign up with your email to get that for free as an MP3 download. And Sarah says, really great album. Thank you. I'm going to come out with a new one pretty soon here as well, with my own singing as the background, so I'm excited for that. So I'm called to share a couple, well, firstly, I'm also called to share that I am offering angel intuitive sessions for the next, I think, 4 days now. One-on-one session with me. So I work with Archangel Michael very closely when I connect with you in your energy field. And if you have situations in your life that are really bothering you, if you have anxiety, if you have something that feels quite sticky for you, or if you have goals and you have dreams but you're not sure how to achieve them, please consider booking a one-on-one session with me. They are very powerful as I'm connecting with your spirit guides and your angels. And it is my sacred role in this lifetime to be a conduit for messages from angels and spirit guides is something that I've chosen to do. And you, of course, can do the very same thing. There's nothing special about me. It's just that I've practiced. So you're going to find links to book a session with me over the next 4 days around the Sisterhood of the Mermaid Moon. If you're on my email list, you'll also have received an invitation to do so. You only have 4 days, and then that's going to go back to working with me only available in a long-term setting. So I'm also called to, yeah, and I would love to work with you, and yeah, it's really awesome. So I'm also called to share a couple experiences that I have had with angels in the past and also recently before I'll let you go and you can have fun praying and connecting with Archangel Michael. So there was one time where I left this very computer that I'm coming to you from in my laundry room when I was living in Calgary like 2 houses ago. And this house in Calgary was like an older house, and the laundry room was in the basement, and there was some funky energy down there. Like no windows, no fresh air circulating, lots of tenants throughout the years, and potential, this is an active First Nations burial ground sort of site, and energies close to the river. So lots of interesting energies. I left my computer in there overnight, and when I came to get it and turn it on the next day, it wouldn't turn on. And I did everything. I looked up on my phone, you know, the different safe mode that you could start it in, didn't work. Tried the button a million times, didn't work. And then I remembered about the energetics of the laundry room. So I said, Archangel Michael, thank you for clearing this computer of any and all energy resonating with fear. Thank you for clearing this computer. Literally, I prayed, I turned it on, it turned on. I'd literally done everything and tried that exact same thing like a million times. And as soon as I asked Archangel Michael to clear it, it turned on. Recently on New Year's Eve, I asked, there was a problem with the music and the speakers. So for like 20 minutes, there was no music at the New Year's Eve party, and people were starting to get like a little like, you know, pissed or whatever, just irritated. So I go up and I'm just kind of in this vicinity, and my friend Deeds is trying to help everything out. And I go, oh, I'm going to ask the angels, obviously. So it'd been 20 minutes with no music and them not able to figure anything out. And I go, angels with music. And I said this out loud to my friend Erica. And I said, let's do this together, Erica. I said, angels of music, thank you for helping. Whatever needs to be helped out right now, thank you for helping us receive music. I kid you not, 6 seconds later or less, the music starts. and is fine for the rest of the night. After 20 minutes of them trying to figure out, I just asked the angels with music, and I also asked, thank you for getting through to these people that are trying to help, so they listen to you. And I swear, Deeds was the one who listened. Deeds was the most open spiritually one, I think, that was working on it. And he just listened, you know, and it just worked. So working with angels is a real thing and can have absolutely, as Vita mentioned, impacts on our lives right away. And imagine what's going to happen for you in your life if you start a practice of working with angels every day. And Archangel Michael is a great one to start working with. You could just work with Archangel Michael and you would be fine. And there's also angels for everything. You can just make stuff up. You can be like angels of business. There's angels of business. Angels of car mechanics. There's angels for that. Angels of studying. There's angels for that. Angels for doing my makeup. Awesome. There's angels for that. I'm not kidding. I know it sounds a bit woo-woo, but I've had way too many experiences of being in sessions with people where I'm connecting with their angels and they're telling me things and I'm relaying it, and people go, how the fuck did you know that? How did you do that? You're so on point. Literally every single session that I have, I hear that. So I have way too many experiences with angels to doubt them in any way at this point. I've also had one appear to me in my dreams, so it's really intense. So before I go, I'm also going to share, I did read out a comment that Sarah left about cord cutting, and I mentioned that I would explain a little bit of that. So we can also have energetic cords attaching us to people. These cords are manifestations of fear or attachment. So if we are attached to somebody in a way that we think that we need them, that we're not whole without them, or if we have fear between us in some way, there's a million reasons why we could have a cord of fear attachment. You can ask Archangel Michael with his sword of truth and clarity. Archangel Michael, thank you for cutting this cord of attachment between myself and blank. And you can picture yourself and another person and cut this cord of attachment, and it might look like a gray sort of cord, and see that cut. And when I do this, a lot of the time, it will be a little bit resistant to cut, and I'll make sure it cuts and it goes through, and then the cord drops. This does not mean that you're severing your relationship with anybody by any means. It will actually cause your relationship to be much healthier. So you can do this with your lovers, you can do this with your family members, and you can do this with people that you're experiencing not so nice energy with. And this will help to clear your energy field. And you might want to do this several times with some people, because cords can reattach over time, especially if someone is really kind of in that needy energy with you. So you can do this often in your life for general clearing. And Amanda says, this is awesome. Right. And Sarah says, oh my God, share that story with the angel in your dream. Okay, well, if there's not that much to it, honestly. I was in Calgary at the time. I was dreaming, but I was out of my body in the room, and I can't remember if I was fully aware that I was dreaming or not, but I was still in my bedroom, and an angel, just huge, up to the ceiling white angel, started to appear before me, and it brought so much power that I was scared instantly because it was so powerful, and then it shifted and went away. So just because they're angels doesn't mean that we're not like intimidated when we actually feel part of their power. And my father actually shared with me recently, who's not like super duper duper spiritual, but my mom is like crazy, one of the most spiritual people you'll ever meet in your life, is just so far out. And my father recently shared that he saw Archangel Michael come to him as well. And I was like, yo, like, Dad, cool. Like, and he was just sharing it at the table over Christmas with like my sister and her husband. And I was like, good work. So Helena, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, says, love this. Sarah says, I love you, so beautiful. Thank you. And Michelle says, I've seen angels in human form and it led to my awakening. Wow, that's amazing. Maybe you can share more about that a little bit later on in the Sister of the Mermaid Moon if you feel called. So again, if you are excited about working with angels, you can do so in your daily life. And you can also book a session with me for the next 4 days. They're open. These sessions are really powerful. And if you're worried about the amount of money that they cost, please know that a lot of the blocks that we actually tend to clear up and give awareness to are abundance blocks in your field. And it is my sense that if you spend $133 on a session, there is much more money that will be available to come to you based on the clearing and the ahas that will come simply from one session. So for any sort of mentorship or for anything that you're called to do in your life, I would love for you to keep that in mind, that sometimes when we spend money, we actually amplify our abundance. So if we're going to Starbucks and we're buying a coffee in a disposable cup, that's not necessarily a purchase that will amplify our abundance. But when we purchase something that feels very resonant to our fields, whether it's this or something else that someone else offers, just keep that in your conscious awareness that there are many opportunities for us to invest money in that will actually amplify our field of resonance of abundance and cause a lot more abundance to come to us. Okay? And Dusty is here. She says, hello from Cali. Awesome. So we're just getting off, but thank you. You can watch the replay if you didn't catch it all. So thank you so much, love, beloveds. If you are curious about a session with me, let me know. Again, I've left links all over the place, and you have about 4 days now to book one before that offer goes away. May Archangel Michael be with you. May you know his power. May you ask for help and support from your spiritual guidance and support system. The difference between someone who is constantly asking for support from their spiritual support system, like their angels and spirit guides, and someone who is not asking, they will have very different experiences of their journeys. Not to say that one is better than the other necessarily, but if you're wanting to walk a path of ease, a path of flow, and a path of feeling more supported and connected to yourself, your purpose, and what is true, I would highly encourage you to walk the path of asking your spiritual support system, your spirit guides, and angels for help every single day, remembering that you're simply asking different aspects of yourself for support. You're not giving your power away. You're getting in touch with the bigger aspects of who you truly are. So Amanda says, thank you. Sarah says, thank you. So much love, beloveds, and we'll chat soon. I hope you have an amazing day or night wherever you are.